So if you're watching this video, that means that you want to learn on how to control and manipulate the outbreaks and when they happen in Legends Arceus. Now, one of my most popular videos on Legends Arceus on the channel has been how to manipulate mass outbreaks and get them to basically work for you. But unfortunately, with version 1.1, that video is still semi-accurate, but it doesn't quite work anymore for version 1.1. So in this video, I'm going to answer some of the questions that you guys might have when it comes to still manipulating mass outbreaks with now the introduction of the Daybreak DLC, which introduced Massive Mass Outbreaks. And you may have been wondering, like, how can I get those to populate as well? So hopefully I'm going to be able to answer those questions here for you today. So with that being said, let's get into Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I'll kind of run you guys through how everything would and should work here. So let's talk about the traditional mass outbreaks, okay? So as you guys can see right here on my map, if we go and talk to the guard here, we can see that we have two things. So we have the Eevee mass outbreak, and we have the Massive Mass Outbreak, okay? So the thing that kind of changes here a little bit is, again, the introduction of Massive Mass Outbreaks. And on your map, you may have nothing. So let me answer a couple of questions that I've been getting a lot recently. The first question is just mass outbreaks in general. When you're doing the story in Legends Arceus, when you're in Obsidian Fieldlands, there is a bridge that you need to pass when you're very first starting the game. Once you have passed the bridge, once you have made it to the more dangerous area in Obsidian Fieldlands, that's when mass outbreaks like this one are going to start appearing. That's a question I've gotten a lot on stream and in past videos of just when do mass outbreaks happen. Well, that's when it happens. When you're doing the story right in the beginning in Obsidian Fieldlands, when you pass the bridge. Second question is, how does Massive Mass Outbreaks, how do I get them to appear? That's also a great question, okay? So the thing that you need to know is when you start up the Daybreak DLC after you have rolled credits, you're going to get the lady over here at the training grounds. So at the training grounds, the lady over here is going to have a new request for you, okay? Then this lady here is going to take you, and she's going to take you all the way, and she's going to have you go and fight the guardsman over here. Once that happens, you're good to go. The next thing you need to do is you need to go and head out to Obsidian Fieldlands, and in Obsidian Fieldlands, you'll go to Heights Camp. At Heights Camp, there is a lady named Mai. Mai has a Munchlax, and she's going to start you on the Daybreak DLC journey. And during that journey, you are going to get the following missions. So you're going to get quest number 95. And quest number 95 is called A New Anomaly. And let me remove my face. This one is from Mai here. And she's going to give you a research spot. Then she's going to take you to quest 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, and you're going to finish off with 102. After you've completed all of this, then Massive Mass Outbreaks are going to appear on your map regularly after that. Now, when you're doing the missions, you can still get Massive Mass Outbreaks because they're part of the story, and you can still get shinies, but it is part of this that you need to complete to be able to get them regularly on a regular cadence. Okay, I've answered some of those questions, so let's talk about how to manipulate this stuff, okay? So let's go and head out, and let's go do the regular Eevee one, and let's talk about this first, okay? So previously, what you would do is when you get here, you would save at the base camp, okay? And when you would save at the base camp, what you could then do is travel to go check the, in this case, Eevees or whatever Pokemon. You go travel, check if you have a shiny. You could do the first 4 check. You can do the battle method check. You can check all 12 to 15 spawns that were there. And if you didn't have a shiny, then you would come and you would close your game. You would come back in. You would be at base camp, you would talk to Leventon, you would travel back to Jubilife, and then you would come back and you would keep doing that until Eevee appeared again, or, you know, until, if you had nothing on your map, you would keep doing that until Eevee appeared again, or you would just do it again, because sometimes they would re-roll to another one, very rarely. Well, in the new update now, what happens is if you travel here, so if we talk to Leventon now and we go back to Jubilife, what happens now is one of two things happens. A, it disappears completely, or it automatically re-rolls to a new Pokemon. So if we check here, we have new reports, and we see that we still have a mass outbreak occurring, but this mass outbreak now is for Gardevoir. So long are the days that you could chain a specific Pokemon. It's always going to re-roll. Now, what you can do is you can go here, right? And you can go check Gardevoir and see if she's shiny. You can still save at base camp. You can still re-roll, and every new re-roll that you have is going to re-roll for a new Pokemon, and you can shiny hunt that way, but you can't really pinpoint, say, oh, I just want to hunt Eevee. I just want to hunt Gardevoir, or whatever Pokemon ends up being on your board. All right. I hope that makes sense. So you can still do the same method as before, but every time you're re-rolling. The opposite thing, if you have nothing, so you come back here, right, and there's no outbreaks, just go, close your game, talk to Leventon, travel back to Jubilife, keep doing that until you have reports on the board again. All right, now let's talk about the Massive Mass Outbreaks, okay? So let's go travel here. So Massive Mass Outbreaks, and it's going to be a little redundant and sound a little repetitive, they're mostly the same. They kind of mostly work the same, but they're a little bit different in a sense. So as you guys saw, we have these Massive Mass Outbreaks here right now, okay? And as you see, we have all these question marks on the board. You can come talk to Mai, wherever she's at over here. Where is she at over here, actually? But you can come talk to Mai and her Munchlax. And if you do that, then you can give her the Aguav berries if you want. I don't have enough on me right now, apparently. But you can give her enough, and you can display the map, okay? Now, this kind of works the same. So, with Massive Mass Outbreaks, the only difference is you don't want to save here at base camp. So, let's say, let me show you guys specifically. So, let me grab let me grab these Aguav berries, okay? So, let me grab these Aguav berries. So, let's say, right now we have Mai, right? Where we have Munchlax. So, we're gonna feed Munchlax the Aguav berries, okay? And I'm gonna see on my map that I have all these specific Pokemon, and none of these ones, let's say none of these appeal to me, right? So what you want to do is before you head out to here, you save now at Jubilife. You save at Jubilife, okay? You come here and you check all of these ones. You don't like any of them, you come back, you close your game, and you go back into it. When you go back into it, you can then go and reset your Pokemon that you potentially could have seen. So that's basically the way the method works, is you come back, you go check your reports again, and then you kind of wash, rinse, and repeat it. The same thing goes as to where you can go then and you can go to base camp and travel back, and you can just keep resetting that same motion. You can keep resetting that motion, right, until you get a different Massive Mass Outbreak. And you can do it that way as well. So, as we see here, so we have this one, okay? So this looks like this. Now, let's say I'm like, ooh, I hate all those Pokemon. So you talk to Leventon, right? And you're like, I want to return to the village. We go back to the village, and again, everything is going to re-roll. And like I've been telling you, one or two things will happen. It'll either re-roll to be nothing, or it'll re-roll to be a different mass outbreak. So now we see that we have these other two mass outbreaks back here, right? So essentially for Massive Mass Outbreaks, I personally suggest, and you can do it differently. You can save at base camp too, but you can save at Jubilife. You don't like nothing, you can go check the Massive Mass Outbreak. You're like, I hate all those Pokemon. You can travel back to Jubilife. You can see if you have new ones, okay? And then you can come back, wash, rinse, and repeat that method until you're like, okay, I found one that I like. Conversely, because you saved, let's say you go on a dry spell, you can come, close your game, come back to the first one that you got, and then just do that one. So you have some potential there to kind of manipulate and mess with it, and to do what you want to do. All right, my friends. that has been how to manipulate mass outbreaks and massive mass outbreaks in version 1.1. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe, and I appreciate all your time here. Hopefully you guys can get more shinies and have a great time in Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.